had a meeting and it sat on its own tripods. It wasn't like right in your face or right you.
Yeah, just spins and.
It looks around when we were talking stuff, but at least it wouldn't be there. And it had a stable base. I thought, well, it can't be more than 50 or 100 bucks. You know,
Put about 10 feet in the air. It's fine.
or hang it upside down. I'm sure it'll.
It grabs whoever's talking. I mean, I can see if it's up close, it doesn't matter where it's at, it picks it up.
Like cedar chair.
So it's 6 o'clock.
I don't think that. Why?
That's right there. Oh, it's on the boat. Okay. It should call me in order. Okay, so it's 6 o'clock, December 12th, 2024. Hereby I call the meeting to order and we'll start with the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Okay, any changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
Public comment?
No,
Okay. Local 3215 report.
I know the union president's out cutting trees with a chainsaw, so I don't think that he's not. The volunteer association wanted to speak tonight, but he's on duty until 7 o'clock, and he got the meeting at 7, not 6. So I told him to text me if he's available, and I have not received a text from him.
Well, they're still doing the Toy Joy, starts Monday with wrapping president stuff.
So they've already done one thing bagging, they're gonna do another thing bagging this week, and distribution for the 20th and 21st.
Okay. Okay, volunteer reports?
So I'll speak for them there, I'm on call, so that I'll see if there's one. Hey, nice hat, Jim. The toy and joy season is obviously in full swing. They have approximately 300 and some families between Rainier and St. Helens. We did one bagging night already, bagged up about 150 some odd families, so about halfway there. Went shopping with them Monday night. They're doing sorting this coming Monday, and they're doing another bagging night Friday, the 20th is the distribution for St. Helens. And they're supposed to give me the time, but everything's from 3 to 6. But I'll confirm, I'm gonna text all the board members. They're excited that you guys may stop by. I told them, well, if you guys can attend one or the other, so you got the one at St. Helens, which is at the training ground. And then Saturday. The Rainier one, they're having breakfast with Santa at the Masonic Lodge on Saturday the 21st. Following that, they will we'll do distribution up here, and I believe it's from noon to 3. But I will confirm with you guys. They're supposed to give me the actual times. I said I would let the board know. So if you guys can attend one or both or one or the other, I think they'd really be excited to see you guys out there.
Okay. So that was the volunteer report, correspondence. Do we have any? Okay. Consent agenda.
Again, do you guys have a vendor list
Yeah, we have it.
provided for you?
Yeah.
I was gonna actually land it in for you, so there's rarely is it change, but we probably change it once or twice a year, so we update it. But we'll just keep those for you, so if you have questions. And then the other one I'm working on is the corresponding, budget number, so what line item it comes out of, so if you have a question on what's that come out of, you have to be able to see that too. We've had a lot, so the chief report all done. All good stuff, but it's just been very, very busy since Thanksgiving. Door turn. Put that down.
I'll make a motion that we read the consent agenda.
All right, discussion.
I was going through this list of the other one we got, and there was a few items that weren't on there, so that's probably not.
Here, John, this one right then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I was going through that, and there was a few items on there that didn't have. I think I was able to figure most of it out. On safety, there we go. That wasn't on the other one, it's on this
Which
one,
one?
on Q safety,
Okay.
that wasn't on the other ones, it's a Reebok safety
It
software.
is, that is, and awfully, that is a new, it's new interactive software that we have purchased for the department. It is an online driving program, so it'll be coupled with a cone course and, street driving. But what's nice about it is, it's, I don't know, Jim, if you've had a chance to do it yet, but it's very neat. So they have a car, you're driving along, and then it comes back and asks you, well, what did you see? Like there was a kid playing, or there's a ball bounce in the street. And so it's interactive, kind of like a video game, which is the newest generation seem to interact with a lot better. But, it's about 2 hours, and it's going to, give us our online platform for EVOC, and then we will follow that up with a home course and a, street driving drill in the spring. So that's why it's new, right? That's why it's not on the list. We just got it this month.
So I figured. I guess we go, what do we, standard insurance?
Standard insurance is Oregon paid leave.
Oh, okay, that wasn't listed too.
Okay, we'll,
Standard encompasses a couple different things, long-term disability, Oregon paid
Yeah.
leave.
LTD or you paid leave says here, so that wasn't on the list.
okay. We can update our list before we,
We got a bid list, so what I had, you gave us before.
oh,
I mean, the one we had, we gave us a few months ago.
great, we want to hang out with you.
It just got back.
Yeah, I didn't hear the transport of that or not, so I wasn't sure. And I heard you when you said, that said too.
We went for the rest of the day, so.
One thing that stood out in the budget versus actual was our workman's comp was way up. Percentage wise. If that's normal, and we've got fund, many of those other funds to cover it. In the budget, sometimes if it goes over, but it's already at 45% spent. We're only 4 months in.
Because there's only 3 payments total.
Okay, so it's.
More than.
I did receive a phone call today from WHA advising our insurances, our student workers' comp is up to 156. So he's supposed to send us a document, but he actually called. 156,000 something, said it's up a little bit from the previous year. So what's that? Yeah, that's just updated. Notifies you today.
I'm just gonna ask this here, I don't know if it's on the governor. The Boise Cascade reevaluation or Cascade tissue. What's that looking at in our budget right now, in preliminary, because I know.
Are you talking about the new company that's going into Boise Cascade?
No, Boise Cascade Tissues put they want their, what they call appealing their tax values. We got notice in Glasscock about it, that the county's withholding money because they're gonna appeal their valuations.
The one we got the other day, I believe said 300,000. I think it was, there's an amount there, so.
Yeah,
And then they're appealing, at least I believe, so. I'll have to confirm the record.
yeah, I thought it was there, well, I don't remember now, because it was last month, actually, I saw this, we got it just before our board meeting last month.
Correct, we've been aware of, even Chief Sanchez was here, we were that they were going to request, a reeval and and the county would withhold some funds in
Yeah, I
it.
think it was all like 3 million or something like that.
Across the whole county,
Yeah,
yeah,
right now, in preparation for it, I should know how it's gonna affect our budget.
I think they've already withheld that, I will confirm on it, I haven't heard anything since Chief Sanchez left.
The plus side is that there's a new company going in there, since I'm
Sure. Well, Cascade could be their plant Scappoose, they have 2 facilities.
Yes,
Total, so I don't know which one it is, it's just Cascade Tissues contesting it.
I do know that the Cascade, or the new company, I don't remember the name, but They're hoping on fire first, April, March first.
Correct.
Yeah,
Arcadia, that's it.
yeah.
We also have, look at the company, I've got a pre-act this next week for a data farm out of the alarm trunk plant. So I don't know if that's in the enterprise zone, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I'm gonna see the city about it. But it's a very large building, it's gonna have a bunch of data servers and stuff in there. And there's a company currently removing all the mechanical equipment inside those buildings.
I also heard last night the Comcast was doing a contest of theirs too, they were appealing. So I don't know how much that, if that's not quite as big as Cascade, but
But that one, I haven't heard, so I'm not sure.
I would make a motion to pay the, approve the consent agenda.
Second. All right, vote, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Next, we got, chief officer report.
Okay, we are working, Lieutenant Polito, Lieutenant Wonderly, and I are currently working with the continuum program that we got for image trend that can data mine and pull data out of our, call types. Also, where they're called heat mapping, there's a ton of stuff that goes on. So for right now, you guys are getting what we get from CCOM, which is out of the CAD. Obviously, you can see we're averaging 500, almost 550 calls a month. Doesn't seem to be slowing down. The trend is showing us up somewhere between 6,800 and 7,000 calls by the end of this fiscal year. So the newer reports, once we have that data and we get the continuum up and running, you guys will have much more comprehensive reports, and we'll provide data on call typing, how often, where we are, how many cities are running. Mark's asked for that, for the city, so when they have their meetings, how it's affecting, our high target, buildings and occupancies, such as the, Broadleaf Arbor, on Gable Road, which we run a lot of calls there. And so we'll have data for you that's more comprehensive than this. But for now, as you can see, we're running 531 calls, for last month. One of the things that came about, at Fire Defense Board on Monday, this has been several fire defense boards where I get my teeth kicked in that we're using Class Guy and Staff Boost for large amounts of calls. And so Lieutenant Polito was able to, build a report in our current system and be able to pull some data. I was going to forward the email. I apologize, I didn't bring a copy of it. I'll forward you guys the email tomorrow morning. I have a meeting tomorrow anyway. From January 1 to yesterday, Jim, right? You were yesterday, day before. 10th?
Yesterday, a couple days ago.
Yeah, okay, so 10th, from January 1 till December 10th, Scout Boost has ran or been toned out 169 times to assist Columbia River. They've only arrived on scene 44 times. So that is about 22%. So basically about 1 in 5 calls, they actually made it to the scene. Of the 44 they made it on the scene, they transported 22. In the same amount of time, we ran almost 7,000 calls. So it's very good. It is a small portion. Yes, we're using them. But it was not quite a shock, but we definitely figured out that yes, they get toned, but making it to the scene because our guys are clearing and covering our own calls, it's very rare. Class and I, a little bit higher on the transports. They were toned out 56 times since January 1st. They had arrived on scene 25 times, at close to 50%, because it's just the way the nature of the beats at this end of the district. And they transported 14 times. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, right.
So I'll share it. It's a good report. Jim was working on a report on how often we assist them. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's almost an even exchange when it comes to assisting. But I want to share that with you guys that it's not as much as there's a feeling out there, especially on the Scaffold side. It is, we understand. We do not want to impact our mutual aid partners. But that's what mutual aid's for. And we probably go to Class Guy just about as often as we go when they come here. Scaffolds, it's about the same. We probably actually do more transport from scaffolds. So again, I don't want to get tit for tat, but it just is that it is not as much as it was being portrayed. So that report is now built. Jim built it, and I'll be getting it quarterly. So I will bring it to Fire Defense Board meetings to share that information. And we are looking at doing some mutual stuff with image trends, so we will all have equal data, and so we can actually see it's everybody's calls are up. Class Guys calls are up. Scaffolds calls are up. It's people are calling 911 more often.
How did that guy borrow
They I'll just put the chief officer for Scapus was just, he pointed out that our data is erroneous and which was not correct. How some of our guys are reporting does affect it, but it's human error. If they forget to click a box, it's not a mandatory box. That information could be skewed, but basically what we looked at was we looked at actual units, not the call type itself. So Lieutenant Polito, go ahead.
Yeah, so I do a lot of the in-person and everything else, and I try and train your guys to, in how to report. And in order for exactly this reason, I try to train people, do not delete any apparatus on our apparatus reports. So it shows all the mutually breakdown marks. We don't have to do that by input rules, but I've asked and got approval from above to do that, so we can actually track it if we need to. And we're actually at time where we're trying to track it. So from that data, I have discovered actually also that other departments don't do the same thing we do. So, and so if any of our guys, for some reason, personnel, they delete a apparatus because it doesn't respond, which it's not wrong, but we're trying to train people not to do, then it doesn't show up. The other small issue we've had, like today, literally just this call I just ran, we've had CAD, an issue with CAD, it actually drops our rigs. So Classman and I just got dispatched after our call because CAD showed those rigs out of service. They're not. So that's every once in a while, we get a mutual aid department that's dispatch for one of ours.
Got it.
How do you fix that? Like, is that just like making a phone call to a CAD and? That I'm going ahead and check it, but I actually I gotta catch it. I mean, I'm not sitting in front of the computer all day long looking at it and see when that happens. And it usually happens at like 2:40 in the morning.
Like we just was at 6 o'clock, so.
Yeah. So basically in a nutshell, like the 3 o'clock in the morning one, like.
So we have noticed this is a potential problem, so, chief and some others, they, implemented the station 471, station 476 tones, so we got toned out because it's in our area, so we knew there was a call in our area. So, that way actually we know that we're still getting toned out, so we don't miss the call because the rates are actually out of service.
So the call you just on only tones class good nice. It only asks for class 9 unit, but it told the ringer station.
Ringer station, so we get toned out and here responsibility 77, if you know us. Why is, why is classmate getting toned when our rigs available right here? But
So then you guys have on the radio, but hey, no, we got it.
Yeah.
That's small.
Yeah.
So it's that simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is annoying, especially,
Yeah.
if those guys are asleep and they get woken up. I get it. It's not right. We're working with CCOM to figure out why is CAD time. It's only doing Rainier and the fairground station. We're not having the same problem with, the St. Helens station, probably because they're going on this many calls. And so they're probably getting, but I mean, today, you had a call today, right? Besides that one.
that's the first one.
So the first call, so they have a friend call out probably 24 hours and CAD just goes, you're not there. And they take it off. CAD itself, it's not a human issue. It's actually CAD taking them out. And so that's why I told Black's gonna.
There's a break somewhere between here and the actual cast, we have no idea where and why. But the system logs the rig off like it's off duty.
Or if you're seeing going every now and then, the meeting is already checking in.
Yeah, there is, that's definitely, today, honestly, it was on me. I mean, I did not go this morning to check it, because I know this is a problem. It's on me, in fact, I didn't actually go and check it this morning.
Yeah.
At CCOM, do they have a log of actions that are recorded? So when a rig goes, past service ghosted, does it log somewhere who did that, at what time?
Yes.
So we can go back and see when it was logged off, did the computer do it, did CAD do it all by itself, or did a dispatcher? I mean, somebody had to have done it, and there should be a log for that.
Well,
They initially blamed our crews, because I got a call from the CCOM saying that your crews logged off. I said, what time? And I was, of course, I'm a duty officer, been there for 100 days. And I'm listening to this, I'm like, I heard them last night. They went available, they went in quarters. And she goes, no, they logged off. And then, so both stations were logged off within 1 minute of each other. So then we thought that somebody hacked our system. So we went through, well, what we told once Nathan at CCOM went through it, found it with the CAD itself. It has a glitch that just says, well, we haven't seen them in a while, but the funny thing is they just cleared a call. So the CAD decided, I'm gonna take you off, because initially they blamed it's your crews. I'm like, whoa, our guys aren't gonna do that. They're not gonna take a rig out of service. It's the system itself, and they're still working on why. We do not know what happened today.
yeah, it might be even the modem that has the connection, because says what I see in just doing exactly that. trying to find the report on what it is, it comes back as like lost signal. And then when it loses signal, it automatically puts it at service. Or off duty, pardon me, yeah, so it's not even in the system. It's ghosted, it's still in the system. This is off duty, so it completely removes it.
So maybe logging on. So we're working. Firefighter King is working, he's working on it. So we do have people that are there actively working with Chandra and Danelle, trying to figure out why why this is occurring. And it actually hasn't happened in a few weeks. So this is the first time in a while that, and then when I'm standing here waiting for you gentlemen to show up, the tone went out. We're classic. I'm like, I was getting ready to call him going, where'd you guys go? Because you should be available. And Jim came on because the station toned and he said, no, we're here. And then I canceled class tonight and they went to the call. So luckily it happened now, not 2:00 in the morning, because we wouldn't know about it until the call actually comes out.
Okay, we're trying, it's like an NBC issue in essence, so it's.
Could be a network.
It should be something like that, but like I said, we're in the process of actually trying to figure out right now exactly, working with CCOM very well, trying to figure exactly where this is and and everybody. So it's just simply a little round and shows up every once in a while.
Other for Chief Office report today, memorandum went out that is advising we're doing a lieutenant's exam in January. Memo went out 2 days ago, basically stating that we're going to, civil service approved it. Today went out the memo that basically states the timeline of when people apply, how they apply, and then their study material. So as of right now, there's a process. Those that are selected to move on will be testing somewhere about the week of the 20th. And once they do the panel interview, I'll interview them. And I'm hoping, because one of our civil service commissioners is going to Mexico, so I'm trying to get the list to him or to the group, so I have a quorum before the 24th of January. And so it's going to be panel interview, chief's interview, list, civil service meeting, they approve it, and then we can promote. We are anticipating, actually, Lieutenant Ben Davis, his last day with us is Christmas Eve, and he's going to go work for the Port of Portland. So that creates one opening. Lieutenant Barbalios is going to retire sometime in the next 6 months. And there's a possibility of several lieutenants being moved up to a battalion chief role. I'm going to put out something for the lieutenants for internal for battalion chief. I need a couple of administrative battalion chiefs. And so instead of replacing division chiefs, we're going to do battalions, but I can't do it until I have a lieutenant's list, because if I promote Jim Polito to battalion chief, I have to have somebody replace Lieutenant Polito, be Lieutenant Polito's spot. So it's going to be a fashion of probably battalion chiefs will probably coming online sometime in February. So it's been very busy. Our GEMT stuff, Kate has been working diligently on that. Our Thanksgiving Day, I was finalizing and approving and signing. So our GEMT got submitted, and our Medicare said will be most likely finished up next week, which is the Medicare project with the feds. If we didn't do it, there was a significant chance of us losing federal funding from Medicare. And so that will be completed next week. So it's been since about mid-November, it has been incredibly busy. We've been working probably about 70 hours a week trying to make sure we get this stuff done. So the crews are working well. Our response model is working very well. And we're looking to hire back up to 30. And so we will get back to what we have 10 per shift, which will decrease our overtime. If you look at the overtime expenditure, we're 66%, which that was only up to November 1. So we're going to be below that when we hit January. We get to see the one in January. But one of the things that we talked about with Krista is that we have overtimes up, but salaries are down, because we have several members that are on Oregon paid leave. And because they're on Oregon paid leave, I'm not paying them, which means that their cost is actually being used for overtime. So it's something we're monitoring very closely because our overtime has been quite high.
What's the target date to bring up staffing to 30?
So as of right now, we interviewed 4. We have 2 that will be starting in January with their FTEP, which is their paramedic part of their program. Once they've completed and moved to phase 3, which is when they can be out in the world on their own, we will do an academy. The other 2 will not be paramedics till January. So once they get their paramedic, we'll put backgrounds in physical. They will start probably when those first 2 get done with FTEP. They'll do their academy. The 2 new ones will come on and do FTEP. So we're going to do kind of 2 back-to-back academies. So that's just how we're going to have to do it.
So that first one in January and the second one like March.
Probably March would be. So, and then finally, there'll be probably a third group. It just depends. We did get So I don't know if you guys work, so Daily Dispatch is a online platform that advertises or talks about, you know, they have articles about fire, what's going around the state and around the country. They also advertise jobs and equipment and stuff. So, well, about 2 months ago, they got hacked. And that ran some software that said, we won't give you your site back unless you give us $1.2 million. And so their site closed. That's the primary means that most departments use in the state to advertise for positions. We did online, in 2 different spots, and we did get a few. So we want to put it in, Daily Dispatch, and that, so to get us back up, it's gonna take us the remainder of this fiscal year. Just because of how we're trying to get people in, we have a lot of, very, very impressed with the group that we've, a couple of them were volunteers for us. And then are going and got their paramedics, so it's gonna be labor intensive, all hands on deck for the next 6 months to get these folks up, and then we should be back up. My goal is to get us back up to 30, budget dependent and ability to find people too, that want to come work, so it's a moving target, but my goal is to hopefully have them up before July. You gentlemen have any questions for me?
Hey, well done.
I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but, with the 2 battalions, coming up, though, we're gonna do some in-house training. And the goal is to get to where they can take duty officer hopefully by March. So I at least see there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Scout Reach is occasionally picking up some days for me, which it really is, almost like somebody on drugs. I step away from the phone and then I worry about like, did I miss something? But they're handling it. I need to step away. And so, I appreciate you guys for stopping by the office and coming to talk to me, call me on the phone and find out what's going on, where we're at, but, it's where we're at right now, and I can't leave our guys hanging, so we're working through it, I'm working through it. So I'm looking at March, and hopefully I can take some type of time off, so.
You're taking any time off? Ever taken anything?
There's no one to cover for me, so if I take time off, Chief Pritchard and Chief Marsh have covered for a weekend here or there, and it's been nice, I stepped away and went to the coast, and then stepped away, but
So you're getting some downtime.
it's very, very little. Out of 105 days, I've had 10 days off. So I haven't left, and so it's exhausting, and again, I'm not,
I appreciate that, but it's concerned.
I'm with you, and my family's very concerned too, so, but at the end of the day, I didn't put out for division chief. A couple gentlemen called, honestly, I wasn't impressed with them. And I'm gonna open it up to our lieutenants, it'll be internal, but also give some succession planning, so a couple of lieutenants get to move up. And then I get to take some fibers and make a lieutenant, so I was talking to Lieutenant Reed about this the other day. Fully over 1/3 of our department, we'll probably have 40% of it, will we have less than 3 years on. Our lieutenants will have 2 or 3 senior lieutenants, the rest will have less than 2 years as lieutenant, which is not a big deal, and then the chief staff will be me and two new battalion chiefs, so it's gonna be a ton of training, a lot of hands-on and basically guiding and mentoring. But in the end, I think we're gonna be much better off a year or 2 from now, but it's exciting. New people like to learn, and we're gonna definitely put training both internally and externally.
Yes. Oh.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you for working through all this stuff. Sometimes it's hearing, like, what's going on, like, put it in layman terms. So old business, we have any, right?
No, sir.
Okay. New business. Board policy review discussion, section A 21 through 24. Want to make a motion? Discuss.
Should be 20, I apologize, typo,
Okay, fine.
20 through 24.
A 20 to A 20.
I make a motion to approve policy B20 and B24. Well, second.
Any discussion?
Oh, I have on 21. About that unprotected areas. 21.2. First line, services have been requested by other than mutual aid agencies. The fire district must build a property in your occupant. You've done that in the past?
Yeah,
Okay.
we have actually, in my time here, we've done it, it's rare. but we've done it, a handful of times in the 10, 11 years I've been here. ODF has, so this is, if it's in 2.2, in the unprotected areas where ASA is, I know that ODF has charged folks out there in the response to 25 and 26, for response.
Oh, yeah, but.
Correct, but inside our district, yes, we have.
Okay, well, this is talking about outside agency response. It's just the way it's worded, it's requested by other than mutual aid agency, which I would assume that would be ODF. Because we have mutual aids with flats and caboose. And it's non-protected, so I'm guessing ODF, so if ODF called us to a brush fire, do we bill the occupant owner for the fire?
So the response of ODF is there's like, I think they lowered it to 6 hours. So we're basing that we don't charge for 6 hours or anything longer than that. We charge ODF. And so ODF will turn around and probably bill the landowner. And that has occurred. We haven't billed, but I know where Scappoose Fire has sent a bill to ODF, and I believe they paid it.
Well, just because it says we must bill, and it said we can, we have the opportunity, we must bill the property owner.
Correct, and then the next line down says the board of directors may waive any charge if they feel doing so is best interest of the community. So, we have had some folks come in, I mean, I remember, I think I was in 2014, 2015, right? And we billed somebody and they came in and basically, asked the board to waive it, and I believe at the time, I think they did. So I know somebody came in and said, we can't do this, and the board said, okay, well, we won't do it, they chose not to, so you guys do have that ability if they were to, request it through the board of directors. When you look at 21.3, we do have a group consensus with the rest of the county. So inside or outside of our fire district, 25, 26, where Mist, Vernonia, Clatskanie, any of those areas outside their fire district are still in their ASA, it's a group response. So for us, we would send one rig, Mist will send a rig, Vernonia will send a rig. So in non-fire season, if we get a structure fire, we actually had a couple out of Hollywood and Bedell there. And we've had multiple units respond from other agencies because honestly, it takes us a half hour, 40 minutes to get there. It takes them about the same amount of time.
Going back to 21.2, should we change that must to may?
That's a Charlie, gentleman.
Yeah, I don't know what the ORS 478-310 states, because it's as per that. I need to look up that and see what it is.
So if you guys would like, I can look that ORS up and send a copy of it to me. You guys can table that one if you'd like. Okay, I can look that up and send it to you probably next week.
We don't know. We give this.
In the table, it's on next time, if you want the next one.
Yeah.
Go just to look at it.
So do we agree that if there's anything else, then we want to research on it, then we decide.
You know, we should, or we just table it.
You just table it.
That's what you do. Okay. Run that for our next meeting. All right, then Revolution FY 2025-34-01, press line ambulance.
Okay, so, you guys all Kate laid out for you. So this is the PowerPoint we created. So we began the budget, as you guys are aware, at approximately $340,000 set aside for a new ambulance or ambulances that we afforded. Totally ambulances are now costing as much as a fire truck did about 10 years ago. So they've become quite expensive. The only two companies that actually offered a bid was True North and Braun. And as you guys can see in the packet, one ambulance is there's definitely a price difference between the one and the one from Braun. The Braun ambulance is a type 3 van ambulance, gas, versus the one from True North is a 4-wheel drive truck chassis that is diesel. So we do get more longevity out of the diesels. We recognize that obviously with diesel, you got the DAP and you have the additives and stuff you have to do. But what's nice about the press line versus the Braun is that in 6 or 8 years, we can remount it as it's a truck chassis. So we pull the box off, we can have it remounted. Did have some, so our current fleet, we have 2, 4, 7 ambulances. Of them, only 3 can be remounted. And then a reason, one is a van, it's a 2011 GMC, can't be remounted. The 2002, the box is already been remounted once, so you can't remount that one. The 2018 Rams we have can be remounted. The 2008 Ford cannot be remounted because it was an older box as well. So basically, and Rick knows, you can do a remount once. And then that's what the box then becomes outdated. So we can remount one time, and then after that, the ambulance has to go down the road. So ambulances are definitely more disposable than a fire engine. We can get 30, 40 years out of a fire engine. The best we were hoping for is somewhere between 6 and 10 years on the ambulance. And then finally, our last option for remounting will be our 2011, which we call the Great White Whale, the EMS single roll Dodge, the 3500, it can be remounted. So out of our 7, only 3 can be remounted. So by purchasing this ambulance, it gets to the 4. We are looking at remounts for probably 18 Dodges, probably next budget year. If one, it is cheaper, we're going to have to get costs associated with it. We will start doing that in the spring when we start building the budget, because if doing a remount would save us, you buy the chassis, they pull the box off, they freshen it up, and we get an ambulance for, I don't know, put it at 2/3 the cost, maybe 70%. It's not,
It's more than half.
okay, so,
Save the chassis cost out of it.
so,
So I don't see the barometer in here for one, but I'm assuming these are demo units or units that are.
they're,
That's why you're limited on choosing.
correct, yes.
If we had Braun build one, what's our time delay?
Braun is 512 days out.
Okay.
So if we got a Braun demo, they think they can cut that down to less than 12 months, but they weren't
They
sure.
have certain slots in their
Yes, sir.
production when they do demos.
Yes. This is True North is partnered with Crestline, and this is something that True North is trying to bring in as an option because Braun has been, has been like,
So it's cheaper, more, sorry.
No,
So it's cheaper than the Braun, and it seems like reading the paramedics who have been involved in the purchasing
yes.
option, they like it better, so.
Correct. So the Crestline is more expensive than the gas Type 3. But we also did, this was an à la carte with Braun. We did not add, there's certain things we have to add. So if we've got down to it, there's probably some add, it'd probably be closer to the Crestline, but it's not going to reach it. The truck chassis definitely more expensive. This is a 4-wheel drive ambulance where we live. We found that 4-wheel drive obviously works a lot for just our driveway and stuff.
I agree.
We did it.
Right here.
This is going to be a
Sorry,
single.
look, the radio here, let's go.
Correct. Correct. Well, and we did, this wasn't just an arbitrary decision, this is fleet and our single roll, because it's gonna be a single roll unit. We're integral, and you can see the emails will be attached in there, that they went measured their gear and they're like, yeah, we can do it, we can put our equipment on this rig, and they're excited about it because they haven't had a new rig in 3 or 4 years, and they're running a line share of calls. They pick up 80% of our transport, so giving them something to be excited about, and 2, giving them a vehicle that we know will give us 6 years of service easily out of it, is important. So it is slightly more expensive than the Braun, but once we add all the things that we added to this, little minor things, and also the Braun Type 3 would not support the equipment we carry. It's like the Lucas device they had, it was
I wouldn't,
small.
in my business, I would not buy. I made the mistake going a little cheaper in the beginning. In 2020, I bought 2 big block Chevys, and well, I still have them, but they're not as good as the pieces.
AMR has ran gassers, and they were finding they were replacing the motor somewhere at 85,000 miles. I mean, no truck really likes to idle, but a diesel does much better at it than a gasser. And so, longevity, the other thing is we can't remount that van. So we bought a van and then we blew the motor, we'd be pulling the motor, trying to put another motor in. But once that ambulance is done, it's done. We can't, at least with this chassis, we could do a remount. And remount us save somewhere between 30 and maybe 40% on the cost.
And the Crestline has like 100,000-mile warranty.
Yes. The warranty stuff goes with it, comes with manufacturing and, it's a Ford F-350, sorry.
They're made in Canada, they're in Saskatoon, Canada.
Will we expect delivered?
Yeah, so if we go with the contract, they believe they can have it before the end of the fiscal year.
That's great.
Yeah, so hopefully before May or June. So it'd be a much faster turnaround. And Braun was around the same time. Braun was sometime in summer, so, but basically either one of them could be done roughly around the same amount of time. Because they're demo units. But if you bought a custom, which if you ordered however you want on the ambulance, the Braun was 500 days out. which is astronomical because you figure it's an ambulance. I mean, there's fire engines now that are over almost 2 years for an engine built now.
Braun is, a lot of the manufacturers got way behind you until we couldn't get chassis. We had them built in 2022. Yeah, we actually had to find our own chassis, or we had to be tied with it. We found our own chassis in Missouri and got it shipped here, and we got our medical places. They had a shutdown plan, and they weren't doing anything because they had chassis. Now they've got 200+ chassis sitting up there in the field. They actually have a gravel field with all these chassis to show you.
Yeah, when you drive by, it's impressive sealing.
You know, it was like a car dealership up there, an ambulance plant. So now they're trying to catch up, so they're way behind in orders because they didn't have chassis. So you take one of their demos, which they put so many in different places through the production cycle, they stuck their own demos into the line. These are really not apples to apples, in my opinion, because one's a Type 3, one's a Type 1. They're totally different. But if you're looking to get one on a quick basis, we don't have a lot of choice. Because again, you have to wait for the build times, right? So, I mean, I'd love to support a US company in Braun, but if we need to get it sooner. Braun, that's the best Braun can tell us for a demo, 4-wheel drive demo in their production.
Something that fits everything too.
Yeah, so. But I mean, these guys, the comparison between the two is really apples to oranges because they're two different mechanics. Yeah, with an E-Sig, with a Type 1 and a Type 3.
When you say Type 1 and Type 3, you're
That's a Type 1 ambulance is a pickup chassis.
Gotcha.
Type 2 is a van chassis, and Type 3 is an ambulance, cutaway van chassis.
That's it.
And a Type 3 is like totally different, it's a cutaway van.
If you ever seen our GMC, that's the Type 3, so it's that old 2011 vehicle.
Yeah, just can't change the back.
You can't.
They only go on a van chassis, you have to find another van chassis, one, yeah, we're not a pickup chassis, that cab axle like it's wrong.
And again, we are looking at Braun for our remounts, because they're, again, as a company that to be able to pull, because the 2018 Dodge were built by Braun, and so if we get chassis, now that they have chassis, next budget year, there's a possibility, so our ambulances are getting aged. One of the things that we're working on is we start the apparatus committee again in the spring, and we're gonna start looking at manufacturers. We actually have a Spartan come and look at next week, only because it's 2 years out for an engine build. So even if we want an engine, it's 2 years out. But we want to start talking about it because engine 471 is now 2003, so it's 22 years old. So, she should be put to a station that's a volunteer station because she's still got life in her, but now it's a frontline rate. It's just, we're finding, issues with it on a regular basis. So it needs to go out to pasture and just be used as a backup or training rig. And we need to get something with the St. Health station. So there's lots of things that are going to be coming down the pipe. We are hopefully optimistic with the government change that we see some, positive changes in lending and in the economy, because we're probably going to have to talk, we've talked about this before, is I've mentioned going for a bond. We're going to have to replace, the stations have to be upgraded, and we will need some apparatus that, currently we're doing fine with, obviously getting some ambulances remounting, but when it comes to the fire apparatus, our water tenders are 40 years old, or almost 40, they're in 1987, so we're approaching 40 years on them. But the problem with water tenders, they're very expensive if you want to buy a new one, but for something we only put 500 miles on a year, it's kind of hard to justify that. So, we're all looking at grants as well. So we have a grant guy that's working with us, and we're actually looking for this stuff. So we're not just trying to spend taxpayer money, we're also trying to find some money that maybe the federal government or any agency is willing to lend or give out to help us with our antiquated equipment.
So this right here, was that budgeted or was that because of the extra that you guys had saved?
We budgeted. So there's 340,000. So obviously whatever we don't spend is going to roll over for next year, and then that'll use towards whatever we do a remount, or we're gonna have to get on back to a regular. There was a time when we were doing it every 2 years or 3 years for buying an ambulance. Our call line's gotten to the point now where it'll probably be at least every other year. But for the next couple of years, we bought the 2018 Dodges. Obviously they're now 7 years old, and they need to be, so a remounts, we're gonna have to start swapping some stuff out. Our 2011 GMC, it's done. When it's done, it's going bye-bye. We have a couple other ambulances that are 25 years old, and we're still using them as backups. But we've got to get some new equipment in here just because of the transport time and the safety features of the newer trucks that the old ones don't have.
What color are we going with?
This will probably be white.
White with the blue or the black?
White with black, yes. But if you see the 2011, or sorry, 2021, we call it Great White Whale, yes, it'll be that style. black and white.
Cool. Okay, well. All right, well. Any more questions, discussion, concerns, comments?
So we have a resolution, if you don't try to approve it, then, yeah, you can be able to want to.
You probably make most of it.
I was gonna say, you work on it.
But I haven't seen those animals in law enforcement in 5 years, so I don't know that way, but as you know, we just paid about 290 for our last one we got last year. You have to monitor chassis. By the time we put the required power load in it and stuff that were required, that's $30,000 in power.
What if you sold it, does it have it?
6.7,
That's gonna be 467.
Yeah, that's good.
better than 6.4, and definitely better than 6.0.
Yeah.
Okay,
I do too.
all in favor of approving the resolution FY 2025?
I don't think anybody made a motion.
Oh,
Make a motion first.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution FY 24-25-01, Crest Line ambulance purchase.
I'll second it.
all right, yeah.
There you
Vote. Approved motions. 2025-24-01.
All right.
Aye.
go. Aye.
All right, guys have.
Yeah, I'm gonna you,
Yep.
for it's on active.
You know, by chance, I just thought, of it, so they part of the NGIP?
They are.
or the
They're what is that?
HGAC purchasing too, so.
Yes.
Okay. So the auditors will be happy.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so we're inside.
Mhm.
You'll send it back and everybody, but director's secret.
And send it.
I'll give you your pancake. Hang on to that one.
How you doing, Bill?
Good thing I bring you.
I need second, right?
You want to-
Okay.
Yeah. one of those.
I don't know, I forgot it as well.
I wasn't ready yet. Oh. Good.
Kind of an unofficial chief sheriff going home on the 20th. That's you and the two, got the autonomous.
And it's right in the
It'll be kind of an unofficial, going away thing for chief sheriff after 46 years. Everybody's invited to stop by, give them kudos. I think there'll be something more formal by the board in January.
It starts in January.
Yeah, noon to 2. But that's our Chowder Friday. We also have Chowder on Friday, so Chowder Friday retirement day.
Let's take it over.
It's Bruce Olson.
I will slide if there's someone that I will see him at noon, because we have 20 joy that afternoon, so I'm trying to get up there real quick and, wish him the best, and I mean, 46 years in the fire service, he's having earned a rest.
That's all I have.
We'll drive an ambulance or fire truck out there. Okay.
You don't need rest meetings. If you don't drive, let's drive.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll just take that Friday out. We'll do, kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Okay, any other board comments?
I really just appreciate Eric and his work. I'm just concerned that he gets enough rest and hopefully we'll get somebody hired soon. Get that break.
I'm gonna open it up to our lieutenants internally, and I think we have some that are definitely interested. What's nice is they already know the system, so it's just gonna be more mentoring at a chief level, but I think we will be fine, and I can finally get a break. So thank you, sir, I appreciate it.
And that's my concern as well. So, I mean, as long as it's in the works,
If you have a couch over at CCMH, I can go over and lay on.
Got a nice feedback.
Oh, nice. Love Sacco.
Yeah, as long as you get some time.
That's right.
It's light at the end of the tunnel, then, you can make it there. That's the important thing.
I'll make it.
I appreciate all
It's
the.
like, that's, it's like a marathon. I'll make it there. I mean, I'll be throwing up when I get to the end, but it'll be fine. We'll get there. Well, thank you.
See on purpose.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to say that, I hope we've come a long, I said it before and I'll say it again, when we had our first AA meeting over a year ago, that was rock bottom for the district and we've done nothing but come up. So I almost take it offensively when people say, it's getting better. No, it's not getting better. It is better. You can't please everybody all the time, but we also have a packed house, where would we put 300 people in this, in the Rainier, historical room library. So I think that speaks volumes too. So, especially with all the other cloud, like a lot of the boards and things that are going on. I feel for everybody involved in all that. So I have kids that go to the school too, so I'm sure. But I'm glad to see that it's turned around this quickly, I think. And it took the leadership of and collaboration of the union, the board, and obviously now we just have one chief, but it makes it easier, I guess. We have one person that's Scott. But yeah, and I am appreciative. My staff, all you guys, continue the toy joy auction, that was awesome. And then seeing the volunteer firefighters, that's pretty good. So, just want to say thank you.
It's definitely a team effort. And I just want to say thank you, gentlemen, and I do appreciate the concern. And I believe my family shares that concern. But I do appreciate you guys stopping by, checking on me, coming talking and having this small sidebar conversation when you come by and, well, hey, I got a question about this. And we can explain or show you on more now. Then when the door's always open, I welcome you guys. I'll get you a cup of coffee every time you come down. If I need to come up this way, Rick, I can come up this way. I have no problem talking to you guys. I would love to share stuff in between board meetings. So I want you guys to feel that you're in the know where we're at, what we're doing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of spoiled, we're probably working spoiled because as we go through because I signed the check, so I already asked all the questions on everything that we're reviewing, so I already kind of have to leg up, so. But, yeah, plus I do make it a point every Wednesday to call or stop in.
Always, and I do, and I appreciate Paul, Mark, and even Austin and Rick. I appreciate you guys checking to see what's going on or asking questions, and at least give me time to get you the answers. So thank you.
All right. That it?
That's it.
All right, well, 6:52, December 12th, and we're calling the meeting adjourned.
Everyone have a good weekend. I will reach out to you guys Monday.